I'm back. We are so back. Yeah, we are so back. Hello there, welcome back to RoTransWipe, the program where I literally yap about Roblox Transport Games. I'm Thanyawat Srivajana. I'm still here. Last episode we got over 200 views. I really want to thank you all for the recent support. And today I'm just gonna talk about, you guessed it, SCR's most popular rival, British Railway. With over 15 million visits, 69,000 favorites, 25,000 likes, 4k dislikes, and over 16,000 members on its Discord, British Railway is indeed a massive game. The current version 1.3.3 has over 42 open stations, 19 trains, and a main line that looks like a bowler rather than a hook according to the wiki. So BR's history before its release is very scarce. 4th Rail was just a collaborative group before it was a studio at the time. So I'll try my best to scrape all the information out from the wiki to the best of my ability. You see, 4th Rail, headed at the time by, you guessed it, a random admin who's still literally heading up the reins to this day, have been developing a lot of games before BR was a reality. Things like Island Link, based off the Isle of Wight Railway, the Solent Network, a larger train game which is somewhat based on the UK according to the pictures, the Greater Longford Railway, a step up from Solent and it's probably based in Great Britain, and the Northern Line. The Northern Line project was next, but however, due to the BR project being near completion, they decided to prioritize that more, likely. And so it was that 4th Rail became quiet and had a presence much like a solar eclipse that NASA would never ever attempt to literally research. Until the eve of the 27th of December, 2022. As the dust settled on the 50 million visits event of SCR, that 4th Rail released a video on its YouTube channel that gave us a sneak peek into what became SCR's biggest rival. BR was released on the 2nd of January 2023, shortly after New Year's, and had 3 in-game roles. Those being passengers, drivers, and guards. All of them free to play, no training needed. The regional lines featured the Class 142 Pacer, the Class 156 Sprinter, and the 170 Turbostar trains, stopping at many stations across the main line, and Victoria Docks and Ashton branches. It was notably the first Roblox game to have interactive caps, but can't be dovetailed of, and as well as AI passengers since they knew that there would be less players. One of the reasons why British Rail was successful in the Roblox transport space was because of its realism. In fact, ever since its release, it has strived for the most realistic British transport experience. 4th Rail has baked a lot into the game, from how the trains were meshed, to even acceleration and deceleration being realistic, and even AI passengers, interactive cabs. Version 1.0 was just the beginning of how 4th Rail has tried to revolutionize Roblox transport. And yeah, we'll get back to it as we go along the way. Additional builds of version 1.0 added quality of life features, like free cam, the ability to sit on passenger seats as a guard so you don't wobble your legs, advertising boards, multiple bug fixes, and of course, better AWS sounds. The release of version 1.1 on March 18th gave us Intercity, running on the Class 90 electric locomotive and Mach 3 coaches, along with the Class 220 and 221 diesel electric multiple units. Extension to Victoria Docks, Newhurst and Norrington were added, overall increase of AI passengers too, as well as a new routes and earning system including the skipping of stations. New UI features like user profile, notification stack and other bug fixes were included in this update. Alongside intercity routes, semi-fast and empty coach style routes were available for the first time. Before we continue, can we have some time to talk about British Railways UI? As you can tell, it's pretty fluid, very interactive and a very good user experience. Anywho, it's time to talk about British Railways' currency system. Unlike SCR, which gives you points when driving directly, like stopping at a station or something, driving in BR doesn't give you coins, the currency of the game, directly, but by using a score system, which adjusts depending on how well you're driving the train, including but not limited to stopping at stations, completing routes, speeding for 10 seconds or more, passing the signals of danger without authority, ignoring the automatic warning system, and skipping a station on your timetable. After you've completed a route or leave the server unexpectedly, this score will be converted into coins. Because of the complexity of BR's driving score system being the same as how hard it is to learn brain you won't dive more into the algorithms that are used to calculate it. You can also gain points by guarding, where you can get 4 coins for each checked ticket, limited to 50 coins at each station. Challenge mode, which lets you complete challenges in exchange and buying it directly, which costs more as the developers really want to encourage you to explore the game. Even though British Railway is a highly professional railway simulator, its sarcastic elements are noteworthy. Behold, the TGV-12 and the Class 43 tuk-tuks. While somewhat offensive to the French, who really like their cars and tyres and not rails, and because it's British car not French, and the ties because they think tuk-tuks are meant to be coupled. This April Fool's joke would later return in version 69.4.20, where the great statue of Maxwell was enlarged and the Class 90 and 350 would have batteries on them, even before Hitachi would install them on the IETs. Okay, enough with the prankery, it's time to talk about version 1.1.1. Well, the most major out of the minor updates of British Railways version 1.1, it released with just the new consist for the Class 170 and 2 new liveries. Cross Country and East Midlands Railway or something, just for the Class 170, and EMR just for the 156, I don't even know. After the very minor update that was 111 was 1.2 released in July. The Class 143 was added, as well as the Class 350, which I recently bought as part of this research, as well as new liveries for the Class 90 142. This brings the much needed Fleetwood and Millbridge extensions, a redesigned in-game map as well, admin commands, and finally dynamic weather, which comes back to its edge in realism. With dynamic weather, one of the common problems when raining is, you guessed it, wheel slip, no grip. To help prevent that, VR gave us Sanders. And yeah, there's also new ambient sounds but not actual grass, unfortunately. Version 1.2.1 added the Fair Coast extension, Mach 3 driving trailer, and of course the new subclass for the Class 350, the Dash 3 and Dash 4. And unfortunately no progress was made during Q1 of 2024, until version 69.4.20, which I already explained. Creme de la creme update. The biggest update BR has likely ensued. Released on the 27th of April, 2024, was 1.3. We got the major extension to the main line at Avonhill. The Class 800, 801 and 802 were added, bundled under the AXX pack, as well as the release of the Class 171 and 321. Stop markers for the 80X were added in major stations, and Fleetwood was upgraded to have bi-directional platforms. Railway sleepers were updated, an updated driving UI makes it customizable, new Mark II coaches, and the best thing BR has added to date. You guessed it, the consist editor. Now you can finally make longer trains or even couple different trains together. The only limit is your imagination. Remember the time when I talked about that over 1,000 Roblox Game Pass? Luckily, British Railway does not have a longer trains Game Pass. Instead, you can literally use that Robux just to buy those trains and just couple them together. Version 1.3.1 added the 803 and the 805, causing the 8XX pack to be 4K coins now. New Silence extension was added as well. The advertisement system was unfortunately removed in this update due to the settings and shop UIs being revamped. And the driver HUD editor is now available on mobile. Version 1.3.2 added the Class 158 and 159 sprinters and the 322 Dusty Bin, as well as an upgraded branch between Preston Junction and Norrington, which is now 9 miles apart. New players can now receive a free route pack upon completing the first route. HUD scaling was available, onboard announcements, more details but still no grass, and a new shuttle fare. And finally, we reached the current version of the game, version 1.3.3, which included the Cuffley extension, the addition of the Class 86 electric locomotive, and new liveries for the Mark III coaches alongside, upgraded in-cab controls and user interface, as well as the new weekly items in the shop were available. And they really had to give the Class 86 a tutorial, did they? Well, because it's complicated. Alright. So let's talk about British Railways community. While SCR stereotypically is the more immature side of the Roblox Transport community, BR is a bit more mature. And yeah, it can be said by looking at its Discord server, and a lot of the members of the community are at least very optimistic about the game, as well as a bit critical of the game as well. Speaking of which, last year there was a bit of hot water with a moderator in the Discord server. Some controversies later, now I finally have the time to interview someone. Yes, that someone was, you guessed it, RoTrans. He has a thought of his own, so yeah, I'ma take it away to him, I guess. I don't know what to say.
The British Railway community, well, they have improved a lot from last year, considering that last year there was a moderator that happened to be quite a bit manipulative. But this year, with the, I shall say, quote-unquote, disappearance of that one moderator for some reason, well, things have gone for the better.
So, with the fact that most of the community members are really trying to push for realism in the game, do you really think that they are gonna suggest too much to the developers or something?
Not from what I know of, no. But with the current game, they're just a new game. And because they're quite of a new game, well, aren't they like 2 years old? And if they're like 2 years old, you can't really expect too much from them. Unless most of the community are quite immature, then it would be a reason why people would suggest to make something as detailed as SCR when it comes to stations.
Now let's talk about content creators. The content creator scene in BR has already been erupted ever since it was released. I mean, Pinktastic was crowned the first Spat King, and there is, like SCR, a Fourth Rail content creator program, which unfortunately I can't really get into. But yeah, luckily I'm okay with it. Overall, British Railways community is quite optimistic, very casual. Like, there's also events like SCR, but less centered in BR, but the Fourth Rail community is more on other games as well, not just British Railway. So yeah, very cool to be there. So with all that, I think I've already tackled everything about British Railway. Yep, I've already did it. From its humble beginnings as a side project of Fourth Rail to becoming its first entry into the Roblox Transport community to now having over 15 million visits, Fourth Rail has indeed set the bar on how it makes British Railway the most realistic game possible, and it strives indeed for the best experience as a Roblox train simulator. And frankly, I really want to follow on that, but yeah, I do sure hope that this video won't be outdated in a few weeks or something, because they take a lot of time, unlike SCR. So that's about it for RoTransWipe episode 2. I think I do not have anything to say. And what about episode 3? No. I won't be leaking you what's next about episode 3. You have to find out and stick around. Or watch and see me literally go into dust or something. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.